Hello everyone and welcome to a very special The Sims 3 Warrior Cats Challenge behind the scenes video. It's one of our very first behind the scenes videos where you guys are going to be able to sit back, relax, and watch as I kind of get Moss Clan ready for spring. So we've been so busy with all of our plots, with the stars falling from the sky, with all of the things that are going on with Bear Glow, with all of the romances that are pinging around, all of the apprentices aging up. Yeah, we've been so busy with that I haven't had time to actually come back in and put the spawners back in for Moss Clan. So I've realized while we've been with them that, hey, it's actually really hard to make sure that there's enough prey items for the prey pile, and you can have the cats kind of do their own roaming around and their own hunting, but I'm used to seeing the prey items kind of scurrying around in the forest and all of that amazingness happen. And so we're going to spend today doing our very first behind the scenes video, putting down spawners, kind of rearranging plants, maybe getting rid of some plants that I might kind of deem as more summery plants, bringing in plants that I would deem as more spring plants, and just sort of adjusting what you can find here in the Moss Clan territory. We might also add in some bushes, might add in a few spawners for Willow because it's back into being spring, so maybe there's some seeds lying around. It's basically going to be like that. We might even spend a little bit of time, since as you guys saw in the last episode, we chased a dog away from over here. We might spend a little bit of time adding in some spawners and some items for the cats in this territory, because this is wonderful territory for Moss Clan, and really ever since they've started fishing a little bit more, it'd be suspicious if they didn't come over here and maybe try their paws at fishing, or at least finding some reptiles in the rocks that would be over in this area. This is a little park that they haven't officially claimed 100% as their territory yet, but I think it's going to be time for them to do so pretty soon, kind of the way that Branch Clan has claimed the ruin territory, the ruins that we have like down over here. And yeah, ignore the house that keeps showing up down there. There is no house there. For some reason, the game just thinks there's still a house there, but there's not. But yeah, these ruins have been claimed by Branch Clan as theirs. So it makes sense that Moss Clan will probably claim this area pretty soon. It just tends to have a lot of two legs at it because they come up to go fishing and they come up to relax up here. Is this another dog? Oh my gosh, and there's like another dog that's wandering around up here. So we'll be taking care of all of those things. But yeah, don't worry, you guys have also let me know that actually, even though the gnomes look so angry, they still have little hearts. So what we need to do to set Moss Clan up, and by the way, all of this behind the scenes video is going to be done paused. Nothing's going to move because the cats just need to stay exactly where they are so we can resume tomorrow with all the stories we're going to tell with them. But you guys get to see working in the clan behind the scenes and how you add in those things in this kind of video. But let's see. Everybody's let me know that these should be like little X's through the markers. So this would be to encourage stray visitors, and we want to discourage them. But no, see, it doesn't have like a little X through it. It just says, tired of stranger cats yelling, stray cats no longer allowed near your home. Yeah, it just does this. So we can encourage them, we can discourage them. And we're currently discouraging all of them to stay away. So that's why the gnomes look so angry even when they have the sign. So I don't know why so many of them are showing up. I did put a mod in to kind of increase the opportunity for them to show up because it's important for the sake of our clans to have those battles. But geez, it's just a lot of chaos in the background as a result. So what we'll probably do is you can, in Sims 3, if you have the right expansion pack, actually buy other lots, like other business lots, park lots, things like that. So we'll probably end up having the clan buy this so that it'll become territory that we can send them over to, and it'll treat it kind of like a second home lot for the cats. And then we'll put down those little markers over here to try to discourage stray dogs and cats from showing up here as well. Anyway, that's what we're going to do there. But for now, let's just focus on adding in some of the, I think I want to remove some of the trees, and we're going to be adding in some of these spawners for the cats. And you guys are probably wondering, Seri, how the heck do you put down these spawners so you have all the animals running everywhere, all the little minor pets? Well, I'm going to show you guys. You open up your cheat window with Control, Shift, and C, and you type in testing, cheats, testing, cheats, enabled, true. And this is all stuff you can look up using Google. I highly recommend doing that when you're learning how to mod things in Sims, because otherwise you're going to be very confused. But then, let's see, we enter in by debug on. And that is actually going to turn on the debug option, and the debug option, which is kind of like a tool that you can use within the game to mod things outside of normal gameplay. That is where you find all of your spawners. And I do have a few spawners that you can actually buy as well. Those you can find on Mod The Sims 2, and that way I'm covered for all of the minor pets, all of the plants, all of the seeds, all of the nanites, all of the like rocks, meteors, gems, everything you can collect in The Sims 3. I have spawners for so that we can use them. So there we go. All right. And to be able to see your debug options, you have to go into sort by function, and right there it is, the debug option. And now we can see what kind of animals are available in our lot. So let's go ahead and move on through. Looks like we have a few rodent ones. So we've got a few rodents and a few birds around, but not very many. And you can see we've got some lizards over here. There's the stray cat. Oh, that's going to be so important for tomorrow. I thought it already ran off. All right. Well, we'll just remember that. Ooh, you guys just got a big sneak peek if you're watching this. Ooh, that's so exciting. And then I think what I really want to do is focus on adding in some more birds, some more small birds. This is a large bird spawner. It has personally never worked for me. So we're just going to go ahead and remove that. And I think what we're going to do is this a common seed? Yeah, I think we're going to temporarily switch all of the seeds except like 1 or 2 into common seeds. And it looks like that's what's going on. We have a bunch of rodent spawners kind of scattered around, but we're going to add in a lot more. Yeah, that's common seeds. This is common seeds. Okay, so actually Willow has almost all just common seeds in her area. We've got a snake spawner hiding back there. I just feel like there haven't been a lot of creatures, so we're probably going to have over in Willow's area, let's add in some more small bird spawners. So I just grabbed it and hit shift, and that'll automatically allow me to like clone an item. So we're going to put down like a few of those, but there's different types of bird spawners, mind you. So I'm going to put down a couple of these ones, but I just feel like there haven't been enough birds. So for now in Moss Clan, we're going to have a whole bunch of birds just sort of start showing up. Let's see, small bird spawner 1. So we put down small bird spawner 4 and small bird spawner 2, and we've put down multiples of those. So it's like a flock of those types of birds. Each spawner will make different birds show up. So let's see, that's 1 and 2, or 1 and 2 and 4. So let's do like 1 of 1. And 1 of 3 over here. So that will put down a whole bunch of spawners where birds will start showing up in Willow's garden. And I think that's pretty, that makes sense to me that they would start showing up here. And then I kind of want to move the wildflower spawners if I have them. Okay, I have a couple wildflower spawners left. I kind of want to move a couple of them over into Willow's area over here. Like all of the birds are being attracted. We'll leave 1 or 2 over here as well. But all of the birds are being attracted into Willow's garden because it makes a lot of sense to me that she would have a bunch of flowers, but just during spring. And during summer, the flowers here might fade and they'll start showing up further down in the valley, like further on other lots, like the contested territory where the cats are always kind of trying to figure out and fight over who gets that one meadow. All right, let's see. There's a bunch of snake spawners. And then I do have a dice, and I haven't done it this time, but what I'm probably going to do next time we do one of these behind the scenes things is I will put down all of the different types of spawners, and I'll use a randomizer to decide how many spawners go down. And right now we can even say there's kind of a random event going on, and that'll be something I do in the Warrior Cat series in the future too, where there's a flock of birds showing up. So you just have a ton of birds here. And that could happen over at the Branch Clan territory as well, where there's just a big flock of birds that shows up. So for like half a season, then there's just a ton of bird spawners, a lot more than usual. So the cats might be able to really benefit by just stumbling on the birds, because the cats in the game will stalk for prey items when you command them to stalk for prey by clicking on the ground and clicking it, but they won't kind of do it on their own unless there's already a prey item running around. And the prey item is only going to show up and run around on its own if you have the little spawners put down. So that should help them out. And then what else? I think the insect spawners, there would be some butterflies out. So let me roll really quickly. All right, so 3 butterfly spawners. I just picked up a dice and kind of rolled it. And then how many insect spawners? 6. Woo, okay. Well, we have a few insect spawners. There's the spotted beetle. There's, oh, lightning bugs. I don't think I've ever caught a lightning bug. Here's a lightning bug over here. Geez, I wonder if some of these are working. I feel like I've never caught those guys. But let's go ahead and add in some more bugs then. And what I really like to do is I like to try to find lightning bugs, ladybugs, honeypot ant, the beetle spawners where it says all. So the spawners will just say all. So you kind of have the opportunity to get all of them. But in the future, like I said, I will be setting up random generators that'll tell me what kind of spawners will show up in each clan's territory. So I might get one year where we roll the random generators and it's like, hey, you guys get like 6 roaches. So you just have like 6 roach spawners lying around. And that's the only insect spawner that shows up. And I think that would be really fun to kind of give each of the territories a bit more personality as the years go by and everything shifts from year to year. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out for that. But for now, for this time, let's see, 6 is a lot. For now, we'll just put down like a few beetles. So we'll say there's a whole bunch of beetles. In fact, let's do some over in these woods because we don't really have much. Maybe one more. We don't really have much going on over there. And remember, if you're going to start putting down this many spawners, make sure your computer can handle it because, oh my goodness, Sims 3 is not forgiving if you do not have a computer that can handle doing these kinds of things. All right. And I think what kind of, let's see, one butterfly. There's butterflies from France because I have all of the expansion packs. So remember, a lot of the things you might see in your game might look different than what shows up in my game because I have every single expansion pack and most of the stuff packs for The Sims 3. So I get things like this one where it says France, butterfly spawner France, the Pasha butterfly. That's because it comes from World Adventures. And then other things like this one, the insect spawner Alchemy, that's because it comes from the Supernatural expansion pack. In fact, let's go ahead and maybe swap out like this lightning bug and maybe one of these beetle spawners and put down an alchemy spawner and see what shows up. And again, sometimes I might get some of these creatures showing up, but they're inside of the trees and bushes, so I don't see them. So, all right, let's go ahead and add in, let's see, nanites, spiders, termites, will-o'-the-wisp. See, and it'd be really fun if we had like a will-o'-the-wisp spawner, but I don't know if it fits this area. But if we use the random generator to determine what kind of spawners to put down, that would be fun. And I can even try to make it so that it's a random generator that you guys can have access to or even edit according to like what expansion packs you have in. Because I think it'd be really fun to sort of control what is in each clan's territory, not only with the random events, but also just from year to year. And like there'll be general things like, you know, Branch Clan is not going to have like 7, 12 wildflower spawners just show up on their territory, but they are going to have maybe a whole bunch more rock spawners show up because that's what Branch Clan is all about. So it will be, the random generators for that will be determined by what clan we're actually in. Let's go ahead and continue putting some things down. So do we need any rocks? They don't really use rocks like here. There's gem spawners you can get. Sometimes there's junkyard spawners, seashells. Like you're not going to get seashells over here. We're in Moss Clan. You might get some metal, but I don't know. We'll like put one metal just over here just for like giggles. But I don't know what they would do with it. So we'll say that's just like there for a brief time. And if they can't figure out how to use the metal, like if that's something that one of the cats or the spirit of the forest cat or the spirit cats or the medicine cats don't learn how to use, then we'll just ignore the items and eventually like get rid of them. So that'll happen at the end and beginning of each season too. All right. And I kind of want to put something down like in this area. Is there like something like frogs? There's gardening things as well. See, and these would be interesting. I don't think we would have new plants show up on the clan territory lots. Let me know what you guys think about that. Maybe we would have some. And I have a lot of custom content ones like corn. Corn is not something that shows up that like normally that's a store item. And then I do believe a whole bunch of the other ones. Ooh, the crystal plant spawner. Phew. I've never even seen a crystal plant, so that would be exciting. There's like even harvestable kelp. I wonder if we should put that down and let Slate start harvesting kelp in Branch Clan. That would be pretty cool. Like here we go. This is a patchouli flower, and this is 100% a mod. Like that's something I downloaded for a custom plant item. So uncommon seeds are over here. And I'm actually looking for, let's see, freshwater fish, snakes. Here we go. So if you're having a hard time finding some of the spawners, check the fish spawner area because it has more than fish. It's got several fish from all different areas. Then it has like these holes that the dogs actually dig up. Let's see, kissing gourami. And then it has the lizards. So this is kind of what I was looking for. I think lizards are the closest I'm going to actually get. And the large bird spawners for some reason are here under the fishing tab too. But yeah, I think the lizards are the closest I'm going to get to some of the others. And there's a lot of lizards in Moss Clan. So I'm going to add in like a couple of them over here. I don't want to put in too many spawners at once because it's not really summertime. For some reason, I feel like there'd be a lot of snakes and lizards here in the summer. And rodents probably in the autumn. So I'm actually going to remove some of the rodents. In fact, I'm going to remove every rodent I stumble on for just a moment. And that might make things a little bit trickier for Moss Clan, but that's kind of part of it. In fact, I'm going to remove a couple of the turtle spawners. There's another rodent spawner, and we'll just remove that one. And that's because things are sort of turning more towards bugs. Bugs and birds. Birds who really invade Willow's area, and then the bugs who just start showing up everywhere. And I think to help the bugs sort of show up everywhere, I'm going to remove this small bird spawner too. I think to help the bugs show up everywhere, and let me see, is this the beetle? That's the spotted beetle spawner. Where's my everything beetle spawner? There we go, this guy. We're going to put down some new grasses. So that's another thing we can do going into build mode, because I feel like there's a lot of clashing colors. So I actually want to remove some of the colors I don't think really fit for Moss Clan right now, like the yellow rhododendrons and that guy. So this is normally very painful for me to get rid of the plants because I love the plants, but it's actually super helpful because I'm like, no, it's okay, Seri. It's behind the scenes moments. You can do it. And to put down plants this thickly, this is actually another question I get because people are like, Seri, how did you do that? I can't do the plants that thickly. Well, that's the move objects on cheat, and voila. Remember, if you put your plants in the wrong place, then suddenly your cats can't get anywhere. Your spirit of the land can't get anywhere. But we're going to put down some of these huckleberry bushes. There's not really a huge selection of plants, in my opinion, in Sims 3. And I have like a ton of the ones that you can download and the ones that you can buy from the store. So there's not a ton, in my opinion, but there's enough to kind of get a bit of a general idea, like a few bushes here and there. Oh, and then the other thing I want to do, I think because it is early spring, we're going to go ahead. That's common fish. Common fish, common fish, uncommon fish, uncommon fish. We're going to go ahead and see if we can smooth out some of the land because I would love to see maybe Lizard Paw and Crowfeather do a little bit more fishing in Moss Clan. It's probably something they dabble in, but I do need to kind of maybe soften the terrain a little to try to figure out how we can make it so that the cats will be able to get over here because they can't really get in. So maybe if I make the brush softness a little bit wider. So we'll have to see if this like helps. It's very tricky trying to get the ponds so the cats can fish in them, I feel. So you just kind of have to like zip around. And sorry if you can hear the baby bird in the background. He's just having a grand old day singing his little heart out. Yeah, you just kind of have to zip around and like gently take care of the edges. So hopefully that'll do it. And I'm kind of ambivalent about fishing in Moss Clan. I'm kind of wondering if at least these ponds, which we haven't really been able to use very much, maybe will dry up in the summer and we'll turn this into a different kind of territory. Maybe these plants will start disappearing, the cypress plants, and like more of the oak plants will move in and more of the bushes, and it'll end up being a place where kits can roam around and play instead. And then any fishing that wants to be done, they can come over to this big area and they can try it out over there. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of the other colors of the plants because it is spring. So I kind of feel like some of these purple heathers or, like which ones would go for being spring? I'm going to remove that guy, I think. There we go. Any of these colors of heather are going to go out. And then we're actually going to put down some clovers instead. These clovers with the rounded corners. And you may ask, Seri, how do you make a big clover bed really quickly? Well, you put down your clover and you hit shift, and then you also hit alt. You hold shift and alt down, and then when you put the left mouse button down, you can just kind of go nutters. There we go. And now we've got some of that clover coming on in. So we remove the heather because it is spring, so we're gonna have these clusters of clover show up. I really love it. And this is really fun because now that we're doing these behind the scenes videos, I'm going to be more inclined to change the territories more often and to share it with you guys. And now is the time not to just sit back and learn the technical details, but to tell me stories about places that the kits might enjoy playing in each clan, places that you think would start showing up in the territories or in some of like the contested areas. Maybe a two-leg set up a camping site in one of the meadows, and maybe they're over there. Maybe we'd even have like a two-leg who would temporarily move into that territory with their dog or something like that, and we would have to kind of cope with that, them camping out there all the time. I think that would be really cool. So those other ones were kind of bright to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put down a couple of the big giant plants. Well, actually this would be, come on, no, where are you? I can't see. No, get out of here, huckleberry bush. All right, yeah, there we go. And as you notice, the plants are different sizes when you are adding them in Sims 3. So sometimes you just have to like grab a plant and like keep going till you get the size you want. All right, I think that's good. I kind of want to remove a few more of the yellow things. Yellow to me is much more of like a summer color. And I think yellow would be much more of a summer thing here in the clans as well. All right, we'll add in some more huckleberry bushes. And there we go. Again, you can usually just grab a plant and start like plonking it down with shift, and it'll let you clone the plant pretty easily. Maybe a couple huckleberry bushes will have grown over here, just to add a little bit more character to the edges. All right, and it looks like we've got a moss patch over here who needs a little bit of attention. Again, the easiest way to really make it look nice is to make sure you're using one of the plants that have rounded corners, because there's a few of the options in the catalog that are more the corners aren't rounded, they're like straight squares, and if you use the rounded corners, hold down shift and hold down alt, then you're more likely to end up with a really pretty result that looks a little bit more natural. I think we're going to remove the perennial yellow heather too. Kind of any of the little yellow plants other than dandelions. We should add in a ton more dandelions, because dandelions are such a spring flower to me. So we're going to add in clover and dandelions. And that's going to be what goes on over here in Moss Clan. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, in spring. And how should we change up Branch Clan for spring? I have some ideas. It kind of goes into play with how each of the clan territories will, especially as time goes on. And I know I say that a lot, but that's because there's so much plot, so many random generators, so much that I'm developing for this series. We'll do little clusters. You don't have to do dandelions separate. You can also cluster them up because that looks good too. But there's so much that I'm like doing all at once for this series that's why sometimes it takes me a while to get like another thing done. But one of the things I want to do is make it so that each clan has pluses or minuses that show up during each season on top of any random events we may do. All right, that looks pretty good. And we have some new open areas. Putting tons of plants down is always fun, but leaving a few open areas is really nice too. I really like the dandelions. I think I want to put dandelions down all the way into like the main clan area. Maybe we could use dandelions somehow. I wonder. I'm not sure how we would use it, but I like the idea of just like dandelions popping up under the kit's feet and basically just absolutely everywhere. So, all right, now we know that the stray cat has somehow wiggled her way so deep into clan territory. Dandelion there, dandelion over by Silverfang resting in the nursery, dandelion popped up behind Dogaze's area. There we are. And I think I actually saw a flower, and I think we might actually move this flower. I'm gonna say that like Old Man Silverfang and the kits found this beautiful cosmos flower, and they brought it over and gave it to Dogaze. And so for now she's just going to like tuck it kind of next to her bed where she can sort of watch it, because I think that's really sweet. Because you can move the wildflowers after they spawn. You can actually move them so that you can kind of admire them in a different place on your lot without being in a vase. So that's what we just did there. I really like that. So now we'll have the little wildflowers that'll stay there, and we'll just say that she has some dried wildflowers that were given to her by Silverfang and Red Kit and Robin Kit. So they helped out. All right, and we've got some dandelions that are showing up all over the place. Pretty cool. Removed the yellow heather, which makes me happy. Added in a ton of spawners, which also makes me happy. We double checked, and yeah, we do have the discouraging items to try to keep away all of the strays. And I think the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead, we're going to go to Edit Town. And you want to make sure you save your changes, especially in Sims 3, because it's prone to crashing for a lot of computers, especially if you don't have like a brand new high-end gaming computer. But we're going to go ahead and go to Edit Town. And this is how you pop onto another lot to be able to edit it. So we're going to go to O'Leary Falls, which is the fishing spot. One day this place will probably be renamed. And we're going to pop over here because Moss Clan did celebrate quite a victory. And we're going to go ahead and add in a few cat-related items that are going to be very helpful for them. Like, for example, I think that this area would encourage a few rodents. So again, you go over into bio mode, go into debug, and then you just have to like dig out your rodents wherever they might be hiding. Beetle spawner, butterfly spawner, butterfly, insect spawner, mosquito! I have never seen a mosquito in Sims, actually, so I'm going to say this might encourage a few mosquitoes. That could be dangerous for the cats, like if they can affect them somehow. Not sure how that would happen, though. All right, will-o'-the-wisp, termite, nanite. You just kind of have to like look around till you can remember where all of the spawners are, and you can find the right one. Junkyard spawner, seashell spawner, meteor spawner. No, not these ones. Would it be something over here? I do think that there would be like some seeds that would show up over here. Like pumpkin seeds make sense. There's actually a pumpkin plant over here, but that makes sense because people would probably come over here to like eat pumpkins and things like that and just leave their seeds behind, or like their little seed mixes. So maybe we'll add in like just a little cluster of seed spawners to kind of represent like, oh hey, somebody was eating something while they were fishing and they just dropped some of it. Maybe a special. A special is kind of rare, so well, like special is like really rare, so let's just do like a rare, just like somebody had a fancy trail mix where they were dropping things. And then the other thing we always need to remember to add in for our cats is something for them to scratch. So these scratching posts, and whoops, missed it. So that would be under pet functions. And this is the Around the Sims 3 scratching post, the wooden tree scratching post that we use. And because this is Moss Clan territory, we will keep it as like a green base so that we know, hey, this is Moss Clan territory. Everybody else keep out, or at least they should keep out. And we can leave these scattered around for our cats. And the other things we can put down for our cats to enjoy. And don't put these on a slope. When you have move objects on, it'll let you put them anywhere. And if you put like the scratching post in the water, the cats aren't going to be able to use it. So don't do that. You need to make sure it's like on a solid flat surface. But other things that you want to consider putting down for the cats so that they're able to use the items, and we'll put this down here, either litter boxes if you have really fussy cats, or you could put down a like pet house that's recolored to look like the little hidden away pieces. In fact, we might do that over here. So give me just a moment. We'll do like a little pet house that looks like stones, and I actually need to find like a nice flat surface. If I can. In fact, I might have to make a nice flat surface. There we go. See, now I'm using my thinker. So we'll come over to the terrain tools, and we'll go ahead and, let's see, level the terrain over here. And that looks kind of weird, but we will smooth that out with plants in just a moment. But what I'm thinking is if we want to have a couple cats maybe have a little bit of a rendezvous without the other cats having to know their business and trying for babies way off in the distance, this would be a good place to do it. We can actually put some rocks down. The rocks, all of the really cool rocks I have that everyone's like, where did you get that? These are from Around the Sims 3. Again, they're amazing. They're a pretty recent addition because they're from her Stone Age challenge that she's also doing in around the Sims 4 in her Sims 4 Let's Play, or she doesn't do Let's Plays, in her Sims 4 playthrough. And so that's where I got them, is from Around the Sims 3. Highly recommend her. She's a real sweetheart. I really like her. All right, and then let's see, small rocks. You want to be careful not to put too many small rocks right up against it, because then the cats will be like, I can't get inside. So the best idea is just to put a few down, kind of here and there, and then come back in and fill in the gaps with plants, because otherwise you're not going to really be able to access this area. Plants are usually more forgiving. The cats are usually more like, oh, okay, I can still get in when there's a plant involved. So let's see, we'll put a couple over here. And then we can even try to go as bold. And if you turn things at an angle, sometimes they treat them better. We can even try to be as bold as like this. But the cats might really fuss about that. So that's something where you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to play with it. But now it's a nice little hidden away spot where perhaps there can be a bit of a romantic interaction or two behind an unexpected pairing of cats, whatever it may be. What the heck is this tree? This is a tree shrub. I'm not sure I've ever worked with the tree shrub before. It's huge. Holy days, it's huge. I guess we could kind of put it like, oh wow, I could put it in the water. That's kind of cool. All right. Well, I just did that. There we go. And it's when you're dealing with like the nature items, just kind of be a little bit organic about it and just try out different things. You never know what might just really be perfect. And I do try to put like these scratching posts next to a bunch of trees because then it allows the cats like to kind of look, oh, there's the fantasy tree. It allows it to look a little bit more natural for the cats is what I'm trying to say. All right, chestnut tree. I think a different tree would be good there. So no, not you. You don't really match with any of our trees. Oh, well, no, that one doesn't really match with any of our trees either. Holy moly. That's a big tree. That's a little tree. And if all else fails, you just go over to where you got some other trees tossed down. I guess the black gum tree after all. And you grab the designer tool right here, the eyedropper tool, and voila, you're able to plunk it down wherever you need. And it's always helpful, in my personal preferences and opinions, to throw down a few more bushes. If in doubt, throw down some bushes. Try to mix it up with just a couple different varieties. Because remember, we are running a warrior cat series with wild cats. And if it doesn't look like wild cats might be in the area, then it might take away a little bit of your sense of immersion. So toss down some bushes to have to work through. Maybe some of the wild plants. Do I have any wild plants I really want to add in here? Where's the tall grasses? Where's my beautiful tall grasses? There's some peonies. I could add a peony or two over here. I wouldn't mind having a peony over here. It's not on clan territory. But there we go. So now we've added in scratching posts. We've added in a spot where the cats might be able to try for baby without the other cats knowing about it. And I do kind of want to add in maybe another flock of birds to kind of go with the seeds and just say that we have some people up here for springtime. So I think that's what we'll do. And maybe in the summer, it will turn into like snakes and rodents instead. So we're going to wrap things up by putting it. Ooh, and maybe we'll put down some plants over here. See, this is where it would be extremely helpful to have that random generator so that I'm not biased towards what kind of plants would show up over here. I don't want to come off as extremely biased and be like, yeah, hey, we're going to put down like all of the useful plants like the garlic and all of these other plants for my cats over here. Because that kind of takes away from the fun of it. You know what I mean? I think blueberry bushes and a blackberry bush, I think those make sense. And a raspberry bush, like that makes sense to me that those would be over here at this little park area. But if we used a random generator, then we could add them in. And then every season you usually take them out and put something new in to represent new things growing. And also to give your cats new challenges of having to go from place to place all over the place, looking for across all the different territories, the items that they need in order to heal themselves and in order to stay safe. I'm also going to put a large bird, like a couple more large bird spawners down because I feel like they would come after all of the small birds that would show up over here. But I am not sure what we would do with large birds in our clan. I'm not sure if that's just going to have to represent like if a cat sees them. I don't think cats can actually interact with them. I don't know how that would affect our clan, but that is also another option. So there we go, you guys. I have rambled for far too long. That is just a tiny dash of the kind of behind the scenes work that goes into the more recreational, relaxing side of setting up things for the clans. As you guys know, it usually takes me up to 4 to 7 hours just to do one episode. And this is partly why, because there's so many things to think about with random generators, with how the cats are affected, with how to develop and set up the worlds, and how to make our lots look as beautiful as they do. But I really love the results of that work and I love sharing it with you guys. So thank you so much for letting me show you what it is like to just set up the behind the scenes bits and pieces for getting the territories ready for the cats to enjoy. And now we'll have to sit back and see what kind of stories they end up having here. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.